Do I watch the birdies or no? Or no? Okay, so you're not going to watch the birdies. Okay. Then I'm going to put this on stop and I'm going to give music to people. Okay, where is the music? Here we go. No, 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 what a mess today. Mercury retrograde. Guys, it's a Mercury retrograde hell today. Hi guys, I had ridiculously tons of Mercury retrograde issues this morning. How is everybody? Let me just see. I was like racing against this song and I just fix it in 2 minutes. So thank you, Lottie, for reminding me last time to fix it. I think it's fixed. It's not skewed anymore, so we can see the cards better. Hi, Barbie. Hi, Sandy. Temperance Rising, Tina. SJH. Svenka. Hi, from Florida. Hi, Amps. I actually had a weird week. I was like at one point so tired that I couldn't lift a finger. So I literally had to push myself just 5 more minutes, 5 more minutes. And I'm kind of like getting better. Gail. Hi, Gail. Hi, Dean. Sally, hello, Michigan. Carol, hello. Regina, good morning, Capricorn. Gail, China, Sylvia Van Gelder, hello, Dan. Dan, nice name. Alice, Nat the cat. Hey, of course it makes sense that you're a Leo. And happy birthdays to all Leos. I think today it is your season. Moldova, Scorpio. Hey, nice to meet you. Sandy, Tina. Okay, guys, so what's basically happening today is we are going to start with fire because Leos are having a birthday, which for me means Leo season. I'm going to have the least energy in the entire year. I love the sun. So hopefully you're getting your own coffee. I'm working on mine. I had a very nice dream. For some reason I was buying a condo, or I did buy a condo, but now I was checking this first time, and it's not something I would do in my private life. I would never actually buy a condo. I would just buy a house if I have to. So I was looking at it and it kind of looked like, oh my god, there's this couple with 4 kids next to me, and I just like look in their place, and they were kind of welcoming me. I was like, how do they know that I'm from this condo? And like, it's a huge kind of like high rise, right? So anyway, I was thinking, oh no, I'm not going to get any sleep over here, because my bedroom was like really right next to theirs. And so this guy, the husband, is kind of like saying, okay, I'm going to show you a place. So I don't know why he's showing me my place. So it kind of looked nice, but super small. The bedroom was like, I don't know, like 8 feet by 8 feet, like literally small, and also had some kind of like almost hot plate in the middle of the bedroom. So it's like, that's kind of like weird. But then for some reason he said, just, you know, sometimes you want to imagine to have more. And I said, okay, I just did it, so let's see if I have more. And I opened the doors next to that bedroom, and all of a sudden an enormous balcony with swimming pool and everything. He's like, oh my god, how did you manage to get it? So I enjoyed the rest of my sleep. Okay guys, enough about me. Let's see about you. Let's see, I was watching snow falling videos with my cat in the morning. That's cat air conditioning system. Is everybody there? Nobody is saying nothing. I guess I'm getting on your nerves. So let's start. Leo. We have one Leo. Let's see, we have more. Where is Lati today? She also kind of like has low energy recently, just like me. So it's not good when 2 people have low energy. Okay, so let's see. Fire for 21st to 27th, right? Fire. Should I get one more? This one wanted to come out. Of course, I have to come out the Tower. So guys, it's going to be kind of interesting. It's going to be nothing bad will happen, even though you have the Tower reversed. When Tower reverse shows up, it always means, can I make this straight? It always means that there is like a train of thought that hasn't been clearly and properly thought out. So with the Tower, we're actually dealing with some preset beliefs that we already have. We keep working on that premise. We keep going in that direction, but they're faulty. They're actually not the beliefs that will serve us. And I think it's going to be a lots of attention to that. It's going to be who stays, who goes. By the way, Leos are showing up in here, and so are Tauruses, Scorpions, and Aquarians over here. So you might actually have a love offer, but you might actually really debate if you really want it, if you kind of like want to go in this direction. Or even better yet, you might wonder in which way to go. You might actually have 2 love offers, or kind of like choose if you go in a relationship or not. Somebody's going to really kind of like send a wink or smile your way, and you will kind of like go like, do I want to proceed with that? I'm just going to feel good for a moment. If you do pursue that, you're going to be kind of like really happy with this person, but this person is also going to bring certain things in you to the surface that need to kind of like be brought over there. Hi Austria, Guten Tag or Guten Abend, I don't know what is there, 6-5 Guten Tag. This kind of like what I see over here. Leo is kind of like really dominating the cycle because you're fire signs, and Leo kind of like did come through, but this is like applicable to all fire signs. I think you guys might kind of like have a little bit of discomfort about making a decision, and then you're going to feel happy. Keep in mind that this is still lingering. You might not even know this when the Tower is reversed. We kind of like have that feeling that things are wrong, but we don't know why. So kind of like question, and this is kind of like we are entering Mercury retrograde in 4 days, and that would make sense that you probably feel that maybe something from the past didn't work out properly, and now kind of, hey, you know, what is this going to kind of be a repeat of the same? Just make sure it isn't. So let's start with I was saying Leo, so I'll start in the middle even though Aries is first. And you're getting the Star. That's a really great card to get. And it's a major arcana. You're getting this as a higher vibration of your own card. Your own card is the Strength. And the Strength really talks about, you know, overcoming difficulties. Strength talks about kind of like knowing that most things happen on the inside, and this kind of like is now that inside work has been done, and now you're feeling that you can open up. This also talks about some healing cycle is taking place, and things are actually working well. Star is the ultimate card of hope, and of course I love this card the most because of that. Like, I mean, you will nowhere else see in the sky a whole bunch of things. It could be a whole bunch of messages. Oh, of course it will be messages. Look at me, you have a birthday, you're getting lots of messages, you'll get lots of attention this time around, and you're kind of like going to get into really comfort about how you feel about yourself, and this is kind of like going to be the loveliest part of all. I really love, and you know, like, this is usually a card of Aquarius. It's the opposite, but these jugs are jugs of knowledge. It's kind of like understanding that you have to kind of like get rid of something and immerse yourself into something else. And the best part is she is walking on water. And so Leo's is going to be a really, really good week. Really, really good week. So I'm going to live gig tonight in Newcastle. Oh, sorry. It's sorry, you, which sign are you? You're Scorpio, no? So let's check here. Oh, Lati is still missing, so I hope, you know, she has no trouble logging in over there. Let's go with Aries. Aries. Hi, Sophie. Hey, I asked her to join in. You want to be a Leo, no? Big Leo? You're bringing Leo as a big lucky happy birthday. Okay, let's go with Aries. No, you have to wait for your, we had a bird show, we have to wait for this bird show a little bit. Come here, come here. Yes, I know I asked you to come here, but come here. Yes. Aries, Aries, Aries. Yeah, she's a talking cat for sure. Aries. Aries is getting domesticated. Aries is going to enjoy song, women, and dance, as they say. Kidding. There is, like, again, that kind of like solidity over here. Like, I mean, these fixed signs generally are kind of like the signs that they're making, they're connecting with the big decisions, right? So you have, like, I mean, kind of like signs that we kind of like break down the dam. They are going to break down the door, and it's really important, right? Sometimes there's a combination of fixed sign that you can do that as well, but some kind of signs will kind of break down that. And then you have the fixed sign who are going to fix it. They're going to make a system out of it, make it work. And then also you have somebody who is going to kind of like wrap it up at the very end. So that's kind of like not you this time. Well, actually that is you, like wrapping up kind of things, and kind of like it's the end of the cycle where you're going to really enjoy family life if you have a family. If not, you're going to really create circumstances which going to be, hey, you know what, let me just go to a nice restaurant or cook a really nice food. You're going to really treat yourself, maybe with a jewelry item, maybe with a pedicure, manicure, massage. It's going to be one of those flavors, a really, really good one. But in a sense, kind of like, you're also going to be sending signals. I am really kind of like stable. I kind of like really want to know. Keep in mind, guys, for all fire signs, big changes are coming, big ones. This is like really more or less Taurus energy, kind of like it can be stubborn at times, but I kind of like don't pick up on stubborn this time around. Just like don't do it, don't overindulge, because there is like still that sort of like warning that came the last moment. So, oh, amps, you're like Aqua as well, and Safi, yes. Just my question here is like that you will make a purchase, because generally when I see King of Taurus, whoa, that's a nice name of the card, King of Pentacles, I'm thinking like about big purchases being made and something really thing behind the Mercury retrograde. Be very careful that these purchases are not electronics. Last Mercury retrograde, my computer, my laptop broke down. I purchased a brand new one. That one broke down too. So I had to go through within a span of 2 months, wiping it out because I have like my therapist files on it and nothing can be discarded, sent out. It was just hell. So this is telling me that just don't make decisions. So if you can back up your computers, etc., so if something happens that you sort of are prepared. So let me see, Quan, if you're Cap Sun and Cancer rising, are you going to be hit double hard with these solar eclipses? No, no, no. Solar eclipses are good. Solar eclipses are sort of like, just think about you are going to now have binoculars. I don't think the solar eclipses are now going to be like mixed with retrogrades. So you know how with binoculars you kind of like start seeing far things closer, right? But you still have like those blinders on the side. You kind of like don't see left and right. You kind of have to move with the vision. But with Mercury retrograde, things are being kind of like uprooted from the past. So yes, maybe both of your Capricorn and Cancer issues, anything existential, anything that considering money, house, can actually work, but it can be also something about emotions and family. So that's going to come into this kind of like narrow vision. So that's all there is. It's kind of like you can kind of like kill two birds with one stone. I hate this expression. I don't know why I said it. Or I don't know. It's just like there are some expressions where you like the place is so small you can swing a cat. I just like literally gets my blood boiling. Okay, so this one is for Sagittarians. Some messages. This is some kind of excitement. There's some kind of love arrows. I think this is when Sagittarians really love to be. Some traveling. Beware, beware, beware of traveling, because flat tires, make sure you have a spare. That kind of a thing. But it might be like some kind of like love. Look at the like kind of all of you kind of have that 8 in you, and 8 is kind of like a base card for fire because of the Leo being the fixed sign. So I really have to tell you, fire, you are going to have a good time because these are the main cards. But there is like still something, and maybe at the end of the week you should just do plus and minus. Hey, I had a great week, and is there something that kind of bothered me in this week? And that's going to be your clue, and that clue is going to be something needs to kind of like be repositioned. Maybe this simply means you're still going down the same rabbit hole. You're going and you're happy, but eventually down the road this person is going to bring the same issues, instead of you right now working on these issues and releasing that baggage so you're not tangling up on that level. So that's why Leos are really kind of like into the healing mode. All of you are. I think Sagittarians are more or less like the ones who will patter around. So also maybe wonder how are your actions affecting other people. So it has to do with these good times, with something that kind of like affected your thinking prior to this somehow differently. So keep that in mind. So fire, good for you. I'll just make sure I'm around fire people. I have my best friends, all my best friends are Scorpions, so I always watch their energy. So there you go. So sip of a coffee. So Hi Leo Sun and Aries Moon and Sag Rising. Oh my gosh, you have lots of fire, lots of fire. So yeah guys, you know what, if you look at it down in the description, and I can actually put it here for you, there is like how to actually calculate your how to actually check all the signs. Also, oh, what is this? I still have here June special. What's wrong with me? I thought I updated this, but I guess I didn't. And where is this? Not here. Okay, let me give me a second. I'm going to find it for you. I am working so much these days that I am starting to miss details. So Mercury retrograde is usually very difficult for me. So here you can see who you are, and also you can check somebody else, so that way you can maybe sometimes understand. So even if the person is certain sun sign, keep in mind that you really don't see sun sign right out of the gate. And if anybody asks you, oh, you will never guess which sign I am, they're Scorpio. It's a very simple. But other than that, you usually see this person's ascendant. You rarely see this person's sun sign unless they are both ascendant and sun sign the same, right? So for me, for some reason, people don't even see my ascendant, then see moon, because I have lots of hair, like almost looks like a mane. And I'm going to cut it short. I'm like really having a hard time with this heat with that. But that's kind of like why you need to kind of check all of that. It's not only who you are, but it's also what kind of like vibes you send off. So the next one, let's go water. Double Scorpio. Oh my gosh. And the Gemini moon, that's interesting to watch. That's interesting to watch. So water. That's good. Water is going into something adventurous, but something that's going to be long term. There is also travel or move over here, on the move for water. Let's see, water. Well, of course, you had to get the tower. Oh my gosh, guys, this kind of like is not a great. So you're getting this vibration of 7. Something is going to be very spiritual for you this week. Very. Chariot is usually the card where you see, like how I was telling to fire, like I mean about tower, something kind of is brewing underneath, but you're getting tower upright. It's going to be right in your face. This can be an argument, sort of like out of nowhere, like you're like just preparing lunch for somebody just attacks you, or you're standing on a subway station, and you know, like something is just like, it's going to be really unexpected, right? This generally can talk and can connect with traveling. It can also connect with spiritual traveling. That's why 7s are very spiritual cards, right? Because if you really look at the special symbols that he has, because look at this, it's a heart chakra. It is getting really energized, and this is why this is connecting with Cancer over here. But he also has this star, and it is kind of like that spiritual movement forward, kind of like going to a different place, maybe kind of like uniting certain kind of like opposites in us, right? So hey, I want to lose weight, but I want to eat this cake. So you kind of have to find how the system can work. And if you don't, karma is going to just like make you are not simply going to be in charge this week, water. And this, I can see Cancer, I can see Aries, I can see Scorpio over here, and also all earth signs. Some argument is going to ensue. I totally see it. Or going to be flat tire or issues with a car. However, there is like something also that you have charted for yourself that can kind of go long term. This is like one of my favorite aces, and you know that I have to check the ace out, and I don't know where are my cards for checking them out. Let's see. Excuse me. Let me see this tower presence. Why is this presence card showing up there? Relaxation. No, I'm sorry, Tarot. I'm too dumb today to get it. Let's try it this way. Why is this tower there for? Why is this tower there for water? Prison reversed. faithfulness reversed, enemy, and constancy. Whether you might be dealing with your exes, or prison can, to me, almost talks about marriage, but it's sort of like it's not anymore. It might be a breakup of a relationship. It might be some third person messing with it, but it's going to end well though, because you're getting constancy, which is also this, which is kind of like setting something long term, going long term. And let's see what is like this long term dedication over here for you water people. What is like, because Cancer is clearly coming over here with determination, and so is Scorpio. Thought. So you actually did brew something in your head for quite a while, because Pentacles are not moving fast. Pentacles are sort of like trip by foot, if you wish, and you see a lots of things. You're taking care of lots of details when you do that, and it's kind of like you're setting up some new emotional gateway, I think. And of course Scorpio has to kind of kick in and say, well, nothing is simple. I'm going to make this a little bit kind of like deeper. Over here it's going to be not what you envisioned. Things will kind of like get, and that's my maybe presence is needed over here, and relax. Maybe these are the messages. When this happens, it's going to feel like, you know, that you guys want to control the situation, but it's saying no, just look at it. It's almost like when you're angry, and I'm trying to work on this. You know, when you're angry, instead of like engaging and chewing somebody's face, kind of like just go and just like actually close your eyes, because usually it is when you close your eyes that you see. And close your eyes and just feel it, where it's kind of like somewhere in the pit of your stomach, and just observe it. Just be present, and you will see it dissolve. You actually have a control over that. It's kind of like really amazing. I've seen it in one of my NLP kind of like things, and I never kind of like, at that time I thought it was a BS, but it really actually doesn't. So gee, you know, like I've been giving a credit where credit is due. So let's go, let's see. First one here is Cancer. So Cancer, this is exiting your birthday, so I think it's a little bit of Cancer today as well. But happy birthday to those of you who celebrated last week. So Cancer, you have a Queen of Pentacles, very similar to, who was it over there, Aries. Kind of like a feeling of, wow, this is kind of like sexual queen. She is very pretty, but she's also very domesticated. You may, Cancer, you might propose, or you might get proposed. Literally, for those of you who are waiting for that, this could actually happen in this kind of period. If not, it's going to feel like you want to spend time with somebody at home, like a homebody. And I think that's kind of like music to your ears, finding somebody like that. Queen of Pentacles, if this is not you, it's going to be meeting somebody who is really right up your alley, who can be long-term. And maybe this was like this thought, kind of like meeting somebody who can be long-term, who you can kind of settle down with. And it's kind of like really important person who maybe is already present in your life, who might be coming into your life. And this actually could be you, a realization of your own needs, and kind of like really looking in this direction. Also, I really feel that some of you Cancers are going to kind of like check your budgets and organize it. And again, the same warning I've given to Aries: do not overspend, because we are going through Mercury retrograde, and some of that stuff can be a lemon, and it's known to happen during Mercury retrograde. Okay, so the next one is Scorpio. Again, a grounding energy sort of thing, right? So sip of coffee. So what's happening over here is we have this merchant. This is obviously a wealthy merchant who cannot dress properly, and you know, it's a little dress and a little kind of like leggings over here, but nonetheless nobody is paying attention to this because, you know, this person is giving money. So it is kind of like sometimes we need to look at ourselves. It's kind of like one thing is like good helping others, but another thing is like, hey, we kind of like have to help ourselves, right? And this is kind of like talking about doing the right thing, or somebody is thinking that they are doing the right thing. But the truth is, like, there is this huge inequality over here. There is like one party here that is stable, that you know, maybe has flaws such as like fashion faux pas, but other than that, this person is very solid. Everybody else is depending on this person. This could be children, it could be, you know, a partner. And I don't know, there is like the Sagittarian energy here, like somebody just, you know, I usually use this card in my X kind of like series, because somebody kind of like coming in your life, but it's again like there is this strong pentacle energy. You guys want something solid, you want something shared, but keep in mind also that I see here there is like some kind of controlling thing, and somebody, or you might be controlled, or it can actually probably go both ways. I'm trying to link it to this I'm trying to link that to the Tower. Compassion. Okay, you know what, guys, if you get angered, you guys need to figure it out what in the situation is hurting, because anger is very similar emotion. It's the other side of the coin of sadness. And maybe somebody is not going to appear, somebody's going to appear in the wrong time. Maybe, you know, the arguments are kind of completely nonsensical, and it's just simply asking you to really go down that path. And that's what it is. Can kind of try to realize that the situation is probably also that they are hurting for some kind of reason, and try to kind of like find it at least for a week and see how it is. And I guess this is kind of like a really spiritual awakening. Whether you were giving too much or not receiving enough, that's going to be a big question this week over here. So let's see who is next. Next is Pisces. Pisces. Holy smoke, not a million cards, and all the bad cards that they got. Look at this. Look at this. So I have to go and grab these main ones. Geez, I never like actually 3 here as well. So Pisces, you really want a special reading. Like, that's kind of how it looks. What happened, Pisces? It seems to be that somebody really took advantage of you. And it could be Gemini, it could be Gemini, it could be Virgo, it could be Sagittarius. You kind of like have an issue that was along the lines of communication, and it kind of like just kind of like completely stopped. It's something that is not being built. The choice has been made to kind of like proceed probably without this person. It could have been involvement of a third party over here, and it does have this kind of thing. So maybe the Tower to you is telling you, look, you may be still kind of like craving this person, and there's like nothing this person can offer, right? Because you're kind of like still looking, hey, you know, things will work out, but the things that need to work out are things on the inside, and it's kind of like clearly showing here. So let me see. Yeah, there was like somebody who completely you have this essence of harmony, and this is really clearly, that's why you need to kind of pull deep inside to kind of like reestablish it. Somebody pushed you completely out of your, you know, normal modus operandi, normal kind of like existence, and it kind of like made you feel almost like wrecked with pain. Let me see this Ace of Cups. And look at that. You can write your own story, guys. With this person, no. It's clearly telling you that there is like this debate. Should I go in this direction? Should I look back? There's like still instance of looking back, but you know on some level, on the paper, things cannot work out. It cannot work out. And almost looks like no amount. Like that you're almost like there's like nothing to say anymore at this point. And you're kind of coming down to some kind of conclusion. And I definitely see that this could kind of be somebody from the past that has been going on and off in cyclical kind of things, and it's simply kind of coming to the point of things are not going to work out in spite of all your will. But the key here is like that you do not allow this person to damage who you are, that kind of like very harmonious nature, and you can actually protect yourself, because look at this main line. They're all major arcanas. You have Temperance, you have Hermit, and you have Lovers. So you do have the core that is very important in a breakup. We all suffer the same way, you know, like I think it was Anna Karenina. It's like all families are happy in the same way, but everybody suffers kind of like differently. And here I see it, like how you're handling this. Like you're handling this from, hey, we can make it work, we can be happy. And then somebody telling you, no, I don't care, or I don't want to, right? And pulling inside is really important, because usually people kind of like damage you. And the key is not them. The key is like how much of a damage you will allow them to happen. And let me see this ace over here as well. Hi, Oksana. There you go. It could be a third party, guys. You have a wife, and then you have complete lack of cheerfulness over here. And Melody, Pisces might feel a little bit under the weather or sick or depressed. And this also can definitely talk about the third parties. It was kind of like more than meets the eye. You know, like it looks like you kind of like wanted things to really work out, but it takes two to tango. And it's really the best advice I can just give you at this particular situation is to kind of like get wise about the situation and kind of like decide what is the new path that you can take and want to take. It's definitely this week is going to call on you to be very strong, and I hope guys it's going to be okay. We are not going to see you much, guys, because when you suffer, you do suffer, and you, unfortunately, I see it's not going to be a fun week. But a good thing, a good news is that the worst is over. So it's not going to be any worse than it was. In fact, it is actually looking up with you finding some kind of solutions for yourself. Okay, so sorry, Pisces, maybe I should give you a card of advice, because this kind of I don't like to leave it on a negative note without telling you what is at the end of the tunnel. So let me just pull a card for you, Pisces. Let me shuffle this, get this too clean. So Pisces, yeah, it's kind of heavy. Alice, are you a Pisces? So let's see, give me advice for Pisces. Can you please give me advice for Pisces? Yeah, well, it's I don't like anybody to suffer. And 15, one ring circus. So let's see, what is this all about? Not even my enemy, because negativity, and the more I do this job, the more I'm realizing how actually I suffer immediately when I'm negative. So hey, you are capable and competent, it says. Was this like upright or was this reversed, guys? I think it was upright. Independence is key now as you step into your journey today. Yes, independence and wisdom. And others may not have the vision or resources that you need. Recognize that all the wisdom you have acquired along the way makes you particularly competent, capable of moving forward with assurance. Self-reliance is important. Another aspect to consider is creating and maintaining clear boundaries between you and another. Be discerning about your partnerships at this time. When you know who you are and have a healthy sense of where you end and others begin, you're able to enter into the best kind of relationships and will attract people who mirror back your wholeness. Interdependent relationships are always and should be mutually supportive, stimulating, and transformative. Be sure that you can achieve that. That kind of like summarized it really nicely, better than I said it, because it is definitely, again, asking you to kind of pull inside and deal with yourself and just yourself, and not to kind of pay attention to the past and not to pay attention to the future. And at this stage, just pay attention to you. So let's go air next. Usually air is always last because I don't want people to say I'm pushing kind of like my stuff here. But let's go air, 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 air. I have to contact Lottie. I hope she's okay. I was so totally like on my own last week, so busy and so lacking energy. Okay, air. Let's see what is in the air. Oh, air is kind of like thinking money. Air is thinking grounding. That's kind of interesting. Air. Look at all my Aquarians there. Huh. Air wants to be left alone. Air kind of like is feeling comfy. Look at that, kind of like interesting. Air is going to have a really, really good week, but it's not going to be anything exciting in terms of, you know, new people coming, anything like that. Like this, again, we are having this give and take card, right? Like, I mean, somebody, so which one are we? I really don't think this is really applying for a particular situation. It's going to be that it has to be a balance, that if we really want to give, that we need to ask ourselves, are we able to sustain this kind of behavior? And if not, then we shouldn't give. And this is like what karma is saying. If you give too much, then the supply is being cut off, because it's saying, hey, obviously you don't need it, you're giving this away, right? If we are not receiving enough, then we have to figure out a way how to do it. And I really think it's going to be really business and job wise. We are going to really start maybe finishing certain things from the past. This definitely generally relates to money. It relates to domestic life. It relates to kind of doing things that, you know, have been going and brewing for a while. So actually I have to look back almost like to the beginning of the year, something that started between December of 2017 and February 2018, and it looks like something has been building in a good way. This could be business, this could be job. Maybe you're ready right now to get a job promotion, but instead of like going this direction, I think most air signs are simply, and did you know that the Hermit can be actually Aquarius as well? And that's why the star is hidden over there. It's the star of wisdom. It's the star of understanding what is truly needed, right? It is clearly telling me that this is kind of like going to some kind of different level. Air is not tending to be on this earthy pentacle level, and this is kind of like definitely getting the head out of clouds down on the planet. All of them are very earthy, but with a hint of kind of like have to figure out what is like a wise thing to do. So the steps moved forward would be more or less steps from behind, so very much falling into this Mercury retrograde pattern. Something from the past is kind of like being pulled out from the mothballs, and now, okay, here you are. You have been my enemy and I didn't want to deal with you. Okay, so now I'm disregarding you. It's going to be just like that. It's going to be clearly a question, hey, you know, what should a wise person do in this situation? And it's going to be just simply kind of like sorting things out in a really good way. I also see lots of like basic things, kind of like cleaning the house and kind of cleaning your life, who belongs there, who doesn't belong there. But I think the biggest message is kind of like kind of try to figure out what is sustainable in your life and continue that way. So let's check it. The first one is Gemini. Gemini. Oh, I lifted it too much. Gemini, you're getting the world. This possibly is one of the best cards, if not the best card in this entire deck, because that means karma accomplished, the cycle accomplished. You have these fixed signs again around Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, and Leo, and going through the transit of Leo, there is like this, you see, kind of looking back, there's this infinity sign. This karma will keep going, but some knowledge has been accumulated, some lesson has been learned, and now you're getting this passing grade and saying, off you go. This doesn't mean that you haven't been tested, but sort of like it's not going to be a problem in the future. So this is kind of like a really good card. So if you have been starting something in the past and now you kind of like want to jump, so for me, this kind of like said, this, I was asking if I should continue with my tarot channel, and this card show up on my very first reading, which means yes, this is like what you're supposed to do. You kind of like got it, you hit it. So you're kind of like going to have this kind of questions, and the answer is going to be yes on something that has been very meaningful to you, that's something that seemingly was not, you were not able to finish, you felt you didn't have education for it, because this is also considered with education as well, kind of like the direction you're going into. So okay, Oksana, I'm glad to see it. Cap rising, you will need to say goodbye to valuables voluntarily in order to not to be disappointed. Decluttering. I recently spent lots of time cleaning my crystal collection, because crystals can accumulate lots of negativity, and as you can imagine, doing private readings for people who are going through turmoil and pain, I actually really feel for these people, and it's kind of like what makes me probably a really bad reader, that I'm literally kind of like feeling this. And luckily I'm Aquarius and I'm not really breaking down while I'm doing this reading, but I think the stones are accumulating all of that. So I actually will be doing lots of cleaning of all of them, because I started feeling, I started to feel, just give me a second. Hello? Yeah, please come in. And there I am, I'm getting my Amazon package today, so in a few seconds. So that's kind of like first that I'm getting it during the reading. So let me just pull the card before he gets to my door. For the next one is Libra. Libra. Oh, Libra. And again, it's the end of some kind of cycle of something that was like hard and something that you needed to endure, and something that maybe that kind of contains secrets of some kind. Give me a second, I'll be right back. Hi, thank you very much. Okay, I got a new card deck, so it's an exciting thing. Sorry guys for the interruption. So let me just see this. Let me just get one more for Libra. I just really want to see. Yes. Again, it's the energy that I've seen it in the beginning. It's basically absorbed in temperance. And temperance is really talking about taking two seemingly very opposite things, right? Oil and water, and merging them. It is impossible physically, but emotionally we can actually try to reconcile certain things, because we sometimes live life with sort of like tuning ourselves to a channel which at some point we are getting distant from that position in life. We are progressing in life, but we are still tuning the same channel, which has to go away, right? And I think you need to kind of drop certain things and balance things. And this is clearly, you know, asking for patience. Air signs, we are not patient. at all. This also, just going back to Gemini, it's kind of like something in the now. You might have like these 4 signs kind of like affecting you, or even Virgo, or even kind of Aquarius specifically. But for you Virgo, for you Libra, it might be influence of Sagittarians or their energy, or it's certainly there is like emotion in a different place, right? Something, you see, like everybody's mesmerized with the angel over here, but what you really need to look in the situation is like you should be really going there, right, Safi? Really? Do you love Libras? Are you Libra ascendant? You are? I don't know your time of birth, but if you say so, so can I just finish this reading for Libras? Can I? Come here, baby. Come on. No, she does not want to move. You didn't miss anything about Gemini. Gemini is kind of like really going forward in a really good way. Libra is going to need to exercise patience, just like I need to do it right now, because this beautiful girl who is claiming to have Libra ascendant, like this morning she claimed to be a Leo because it's a Leo season, and now it's Libra ascendant, and we know that she's Aquarius, so she's almost like the same combination as me. So the last one here is Aquarius. So let's see what's going to happen to Aquarius. And I swear to you, and this is kind of like really nothing to say, I kind of like speak to Safi, and this morning we were playing with her bird toy, and I said like, oh, you again didn't show up on the readings too much, can you show up? And now she's showing up, so I don't want to chase her away, and it looks like she does understand. Oh, Aquarians, did you have some kind of like battle? Did you have some kind of arguments in the past week? It looks like something has been very recent, maybe even in the past hour, kind of a thing, where maybe there was a sense of victory, but maybe we shouldn't really feel good about that for some reason. There is like maybe a new direction or new way of building things. Something from the past is still holding us back over here. This is kind of interesting. I kind of like, I'm trying to figure out how is this relating to this, because this is definitely talking about moving forward, and it's also talking about trying to resolve some kind of like bully like attitude. And I know we don't think we are bullies, but like at times we can be. Like air signs are tremendously forceful when they want something, and yeah. So there is like definitely a new direction. So both of these fellows are looking in a new direction. They're looking in the past. So I think this is a reminder that if the situation kind of like was created that didn't have give and take, that we kind of dominated the situation, or that somebody dominated us entirely, there is like a time to recompose again, heal, and kind of like create something differently, something new. And looks like there is like not much we can do in helping the past, but we can do something about in new vision and where are we going. So let me just check this for Aquarians purpose. And that's a really lovely card to get, because it's clearly stating, look, if you know who you are and what your purpose is, then you will know if you have to kind of like have the little heavy hand at times, because this one is like definitely heavy hand, and I don't like this card. But this card is also talking about sometimes you need to do the right thing. What I really don't like is like the glee of this person over here over these other people losing. So maybe we were the ones on the receiving end. Yes. Are you Aquarian now? Yes. And it is kind of like a time to reassess that actually we didn't lose. We kind of like have been set on our own purpose. And it was a love bite. That's so sweet. And that's kind of like really interesting. Do you love everybody here on live? Really? A lot? That's very sweet of you. So Aquarians, it's going to be not a heavy week. We don't have a major arcana over here. So I think the Hermit is really speaking to us. It's going to be a question time for us. And question is going to be about the people we chased away. And the question is going to be, why did we do that righteously? Or did we do it out of fear? Did we do it out of the sense of like sick pleasure? And we kind of have to come to terms to that. And it's going to be sort of like cleansing week. And it's also going to come to the point of realizing, hey, do we really want to continue in the direction that we have been continuing, or do we need to shift the course? So it's going to be a relatively easy week for Aquarians, sort of like just enjoy it, but it's going to kind of bring some really big questions to the fore. So nothing really exciting. I mean, I would like to see lottery. Oh, by the way, Libra, that temperance can mean also kind of like luck. And so whatever that luck is, it could be lottery, it doesn't have to necessarily mean it. We just take it for what it is. So, okay. So, who we didn't do? We didn't do Earth, right? Are you Earth? Oh, you're not Earth. Look at that. For the first time, she said she's not Earth. Okay, so let's check Earth. What's happening with Earth in this time period? And thank you very much for showing up for us. I love you. Do you love me? Oh, oh. Okay. Yes, I do love you very much. Yeah, yeah. Earth, Earth, Earth. And you guys got this weird dust things. Look at that. 2 swords. And you're hiding the cards? They're bad cards, right? Yes. You guys are really dealing with some kind of structure, Earth. You're dealing with, some of you are really kind of like pinning for a loved one. Others of you are trying to find a sense of some kind of situation. It's kind of weird. The air was spending lots of time on Earth, and you're spending lots of time in air in your head this week. And it looks like you're kind of getting stuck. And I'm just trying to see if Seth is going to let me get a 3rd card to see what is going to happen. Yes, you're going to get unstuck. You're going to get unstuck with kind of like methods that are really known to you. So this card is really lovely. It's kind of like you need to put, you know, your head back on the road, understanding where you're going, and keep insisting on it. There is like this essence of good anger in this particular, and this kind of like is again the Glee card, right, where, you know, like looking in the past and things, and you kind of like looks like getting unstuck. And look at these 9s. I think you're resolving instability in your life and what made you unstable. It's kind of really interesting that you're going from this darkness to the light, and you just have to remind yourself that you already know how to deal with things. This is really, really important, because this is a lovely card. This is card saying, hey, in order for you to move forward, you need to know how to be on your own. You need to know what you value, and you shouldn't kind of like give up on those things, because it looks like somebody maybe forced you doing something that you didn't want to do, or you kind of like you have lost something kind of like that felt really bad. Or even if you won, you know, it's kind of like ended up, you know, like you win a battle but you lose the war kind of a thing. And it could be something from the past, a conscious, a guilt coming to you, but it's like really not much that you can do other than stabilizing. But it really doesn't sound to me that it was you doing it to somebody. It more sounds like that you are going through some kind of like issues and stabilization. So lots of thinking and going down to kind of like, okay, I need to kind of keep moving forward. I kind of like do have my goals in life. I know what I want, and I'm going to kind of like chase away all these naysayers. It's kind of like really, really interesting over here. So let's see, who is the first one? Taurus. Taurus. And Taurus, you're getting Page of Cups. So this is a message. It could be a love message. It could be something that is really nice. It could be something that is very romantic. It's certainly kind of opening. Oh, but you're also getting Page of Swords. Huh. Maybe that's why it is. Maybe you want an argument. Maybe you want an argument and chase somebody away. Maybe you are approaching this person and saying, okay, I'm sorry, like I kind of like really didn't want to say it that way, but I'm still actually thinking this way. But it could be the other way around as well. Now this Page of Swords has a little bit of stalking quality. You have lots of air, Taurus, which this could be children, that one child will be acting up. This could simply mean that somebody will be checking you out on social media, and it's going to come through social media that somebody is like winking at you. Just be very careful when I say this, because on Facebook you have lots of people. You would not believe how many, at least 100 a day. Thank you, Dean, that I have people, hey, you need to talk to me. Sure, yeah. Why don't I do that? I have like 2,000 people. So let's talk to some stranger from, I don't know, India. So yeah, I really have to do that right now. So don't do it with strangers, because all of these people on Facebook, honestly, you are just setting yourself for failure. But here is, looks like somebody who you knew. This is somebody you have been dealing with prior to it. Also, it could mean that if there is like that possibility of somebody new, that you will be actually checking this person out on social media this time around, sort of like, hey, I really want to kind of like get some more information about this. Yes, thank you, Dean. You're really supporting my coffees on Saturdays. Thank you so much. So the next one is Virgo. Virgo. Did something clicked? No? Virgo. Virgo. Let me get one more for Virgo. Look at this. Virgo is also kind of like vibrating in a higher vibration. It's kind of like weird. You're all over the place, Virgo. It is really, really, really hard to kind of like decide in which direction to go. Look, I'm going left. No, I'm going right. We are going to do it this way. No, we are going to do it this way. Virgo, you're having lots of conflicts in your life that don't have to be verbal conflicts. Could be internal conflicts into how to deal. It's literally really telling you to slow down and to drop things, because look, this is not the best way to carry those wands. This is like simply talking about, hey, you know, just drop it. Just like instead of 10 things, just attack 3 over here. Spend some time to enjoy yourself, and kind of like sometimes too many things on the plate are also kind of like indicating to the other person, hey, you are not important, because maybe you have been hearing from the other people, you have not time for me, and you're always like in some different space, and kind of like it looks like you have been on the receiving end of some kind of complaints, which doesn't mean that they are valid. It means simply that they are there, and that maybe you should kind of like really for a moment just like stop and smell the roses. However, put your kind of like eye on the ball right after it, because it looks like you're like working some kind of project which kind of is going to be very beneficial for you for the long-term happiness. So Virgo, keep doing that. So who is the last sign today? Capricorn. 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 Wow. Capricorn. Capricorn is getting serious over here. We have Queen of Wands, 5 of Wands, and 10 of Cups. This definitely is the energy of kind of like moving forward in a good way. If you guys are in a relationship, it's going to kind of like go through the period of stabilization, and kind of like in which direction are we taking this relationship. You guys maybe are going to say, hey, we are not dating enough, we have to do stuff, and you're going to sort of like mess up that status quo that kind of like exists. but it's going to be all for the best, because it looks like there is like going to be this kind of like all emotional cups, all boxes are checked, things happening. There's like still something missing for the happiness, and maybe sometimes it is what we don't say, not what we say. And this is definitely talking about building structure and kind of like taking action for something that is moving toward emotional goals. This is really, really good. This is actually from earth signs. The best is for Capricorn, because like these two cards are sort of like similar. One is like, again, knowing how far to push, knowing how much to defend. And here is like literally saying, look, I am just close to where I need to be, and I'm not letting this go, right? And this is like all action oriented person who kind of like always have to get lots of things done. But again, is saying like you don't have to say everything. That's why this matrix, the Queen of Wands kitty, kind of like talks about it. It's kind of interesting because it's the Leo season, and Leo is connected with sunflowers. We see the Leos over here. You might be dealing with Leos, or you might actually have that Leo-ness kind of like flavor yourself, Capricorn. Where you kind of like put yourself on a pedestal, literally over here, and you're realizing that if mama is not happy, nobody's happy, kind of a thing in the situation. It's going to be really interesting because, and kind of like it makes sense now looking back that maybe you felt, maybe somebody tried to guilt you over something that you asked, and you felt bad about it, but now you're feeling, hey, you know what, like, I mean, life is too short, and you know, you kind of question yourself, am I being narcissistic, am I asking too much, am I being too selfish? And that's kind of like that balance that has to be kind of like seen over here. But it looks like you're going to say, wait a minute, I'm doing lots of stuff here, why wouldn't I ask for it? And then you're going to ask it again and put your foot down, and it's going to actually end up with kind of like realization that everybody is seeing this, hey, yeah, true, you do deserve that. So lovely week for you, Capricorn. I kind of like almost like envy you over here. So guys, this is it from me, and I don't know what kind of weather you have. We were supposed to have sort of like not rain, which was initially forecasted, but everything is like turning murky outside. So hopefully you guys have much better weather at this stage. And next week I'm going to have twin flames. It's a little bit longer reading than X, but it's going to be really, really interesting. So thank you, everybody. Renata, loved your message in the morning that I checked just before doing the live reading. And guys, yeah, you can get me for reading via my website. As you know, students are basically in their final week. That's kind of the hardest part for me, that I have to let go. And it's kind of like Aquarian thing, detach, don't think about it. But you know, it is the best part of being a teacher, when you see the students kind of like being able to kind of like fly away. So thank you so much, guys. I'm going to leave a music for you. You can still be here for a few more minutes, and luckily we still didn't have any major kind of like Mercury retrograde things. Until the next time, love you all.